Whoop! Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Misty here from Moss Photography. Today I just wanted to take you guys through a little tour of my home studio. So I operate entirely from my house. I have 2 rooms converted to be my boudoir studio. I am entirely full-time. I've been full-time for about 4.5 years. So I just wanted to show you guys that you can have a successful boudoir business just ran from your home. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to start by showing you guys the first studio space that I had. So I originally just converted the spare bedroom in my house to be the main boudoir studio. As my business grew and my clientele base grew, I knew that I needed to offer a secondary shooting space that offered a little bit more diversity in the poses and just in the environment that I had for my clients. So that's why I converted my living room. But first, let's start with the bedroom set. So come on guys, let's go! Alright, we are in the bedroom set. So the bedroom set is the first set I kind of designed. It has evolved a lot over the years. Initially when I started, I paint the walls like this baby blue powder color. At the time I was trying to fit myself into a box of what I thought boudoir was supposed to look like, which was like light and airy and fluffy and glamorous. So I thought that that color would be very boudoir-y. But I've learned over the years that that's just not my style and not who I am as an artist. So I have updated it quite a bit to match my own personal style, my own creativity, and to align with the art that I want to create, which is usually pretty dark and moody. Hence why the walls are very dark. They're this rich gray color, but they're also very warm and chocolatey, which translates really well in photos. I absolutely love the color of the studio, like so much. I love it so much I actually painted my bedroom this color as well upstairs. It's just, oh, I love it. I do use a lot of mirrors. As you can see, the room is kind of small. I live in an old character house from like 1902. It's just kind of the area that I live in, and I love the vibe that it gives my house and the studio, but it does mean the bedroom is kind of small. So to get around that and to make the space look diverse and to make it look bigger, I use a lot of mirrors. Right now I have 3 in here. I'm looking at getting a 4th one that's kind of big. The only problem is that the more mirrors you have, the harder it is to hide from the mirrors when you're shooting. I have to spend a lot of time photoshopping myself out of some of the photos, but it works and I love it and it really fits my style. So let's take a look at the details. So I actually shoot into this mirror a lot, probably more than the other ones. Just look at how much bigger it makes the room look. It also has this really neat trick where if I step really close to the mirror and angle it just so, I get this really cool bevel effect, which I absolutely love in some photos. So I'll pop a couple examples here so you guys can see how cool it looks. Ta-da! Another trick I like to do is I like to move plants around the studio a lot to use them as props, to give them more foreground, background, and just make a scene look more interesting. I'm also shooting this right now through a mirror. Again, it makes the room look really big, gives it a unique angle, and just kind of flips things around a bit, gives it a little bit more diversity. Yeah, usually if I had a client here, I'd even put more plants around them, probably put a big one on this side, really frame them in that nice natural greenery. I think the green and the gold accents with the rug and all the tones in here just go really well together, and I love it. Another thing I love about the studio, and the reason mostly why I wanted to rent this apartment in the first place, is this window ledge. It is big enough to fit a person on it, which also looks fantastic in photos. Just the way the light falls on people and the amount of light that it's able to cast on my clients is just phenomenal. So I shoot with all natural light unless I'm doing a neon shoot, but that's kind of obvious. So in order to get that beautiful natural light, I prefer it when it's overcast or not direct sunlight filtering through this window. So I time my shoots purposely so that the sun is on the other side of the house, so I get this nice soft light that's perfect for dreamy, dark, moody kind of photos. I'll show you guys a little pose. Alright, I think that is good for the bedroom set. Let's go check out the secondary set I made in the living room. a secondary shooting space. It was my living room before, but I live alone, so thankfully I can convert it into a space where I can shoot. I usually have the couch this way, but when I'm shooting I will also move it this direction so that I can get light from 2 different angles. It gives me a lot of diversity in my posing and the way that I light my subjects and my clients. One of my quarantine projects when the world shut down thanks to COVID was to paint the living room this beautiful green color. Before it was this beige, gross tone, but I've always wanted a dark forest green room and wall to shoot on. So it's been such a treat. I love the images that it creates and the color toning that it gives to my photos. So when I was originally drawing up designs for the living room and kind of thinking of which furniture I wanted, I really wanted like a dark emerald green couch. But I let myself get talked out of it because people said that the lingerie wouldn't match with the green couch. So instead, I got this gray couch, which is a little bit more neutral in color. But then I painted the wall green, so I guess I kind of defeated the purpose. But I really wanted that color. And after I got this couch, I was actually just kind of a little bit sad that it wasn't green, so I kind of made up for it with the wall. And I got myself a green velvet chair in the other studio shooting space because, it's just how it worked out. But the green actually doesn't impede on shoots at all, and I don't find that the colors contrast very often at all. If it does, I can go into Photoshop and take the green down and desaturate it a little bit. It's never really been a big issue. If anything, I think it adds a really beautiful element to the photos. And just a reminder, I have been full-time for about 4.5, almost 5 years. So it has been a slow process and an ever-going process to get the studio spaces to look like how they do. When you're just starting out and you're new to boudoir, it's totally okay to have like a little bit more of a minimalist approach to your studio spaces. It's taken me quite a bit of time to style them the way that I have, and even now I just painted the studio this green color. It feels like it's been this color for years because it suits my photos and my brand so much, but it's just a recent addition. So these things take time. They're constantly evolving and changing. So if you just go at little baby steps and just take it easy, take it one thing at a time, and eventually your studio will be the perfect fit for you and your brand and your shooting style. Alright, so that's kind of it for the secondary shooting space with the couch. So those 2 spaces are what I use primarily to do all my shooting. Sometimes I do boudoir shoots outdoors, but mostly I'm shooting in the bed setup and the living room setup. So the only thing left I have to show you guys is just where I show clients their photos during the in-person reveal, and then that is the grand tour of the studio. Okay, so this is my office portion of my studio. It is just the flip side of the living room setup. My apartment isn't the biggest. It's 2 bedrooms, but the second bedroom is the only space I saved in the house for just myself, so I don't use that, but the rest of the house is really business operating space. So this is where I edit all my photos and also where I show clients their photos in person. So I'll get them to sit next to me, and they look at them on this screen here. It's not the biggest, it's about 24 inches, but it works perfectly fine. It's perfectly color calibrated, which is my preference, than a TV. And then I also have some examples of products that clients can purchase up on the wall. This is one of my metal prints, and then I just have some other photos that I've taken over the years. When clients come to do the reveals, I will usually lay out an album or a few album options I have from my collections so that they can go through and take a look at all of those products while they're here as well. That's it. Thanks for joining me on my little studio tour. If you guys have any questions, drop them down in the comments below. If there's anything you really liked about the studio setup, please let me know. And that's it. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you so much. Bye.